welcome to Kiki Crochet. In this video tutorial, we're going to learn how to crochet step by step my precious diamond blanket. I have used a total of 6 skeins, where each skein is 262 yards, and have crocheted a stroller size blanket. In the beginning of the video, I also have a chart for every size with how many chains to start your project with. Okay, so now let's see the material that we're going to use, the design that I've made myself, and how to start. Now let's see the material that we're going to use. I'm crocheting with Alize Baby Best, which is one of the best yarn to crochet kids and baby projects. It's 90% acrylic, 10% bamboo, and each skein is 3.53 ounces and 262 yards. And I'm crocheting with a 4.5mm crochet hook. Now for all the sizes that I have on the chart, all are being made with a 4.5mm crochet hook. Before we start crocheting, I want to show you the design that I have created for this blanket. Now sorry that everything is in Greek over here. I forgot to make another chart in English as well, but I'm going to explain what I have in each space over here. Now in the beginning of the video, I do have a chart, and I will also have it on my Facebook page, so you can save it or download it or print it out, so you can have it, so you know how to start for each size. I have sizes from stroller to a king size bed, and all the chains that I have for each size, they all apply to a lightweight yarn, as I have in the beginning of the video, and a 4.5mm crochet hook. If you do crochet with a different size of hook and yarn, you will have to make a sample. You will have to make your own gauge, and so you can see the number of chains that you need to start with, so you have the correct size blanket that you need. Now for all sizes, the first 9 and the last 9 stitches are exactly the same. I will attach stitch markers on my project, so you know the parts that are the same for each size. Now the multiple that I have here, multiples of 12 plus 15, it applies on the design in the center, okay, for the rhombi, for the diamonds that I have made with a bubble stitch. And the repeating rows for this design are row 9 through row 20. Now right here I mentioned row 7 through 18, but I forgot to draw the first 2 rows with only half double crochet, and so because I'm going to add 2 extra rows, instead of having 7 to 17, the repeating rows are going to be row 9 through row 20. Now when we start reading a pattern, we always start with our chain and we read it from the left to the right. This is why the good side of your project is always when the beginning piece of yarn is on the left side of your project. Then going to row 1, you read from right to left, row 2 from left to right, and this is how you read a crochet pattern. It's like a snake-like design. Okay, so now we're gonna start, and I'm going to crochet for a stroller size, which is the smallest blanket that I can make, so I can finish quick my project, so we can see other projects as well. I have already started with my chain, and I have worked 105 chains. Now for every size from the total number of chains, because the first row is going to be made with half double crochet, we always are going to have 2 less stitches than the number of our chains. So I have 105 chains. In row 1, I'm going to have 103 half double crochet. So yarn over once, skip the first 2 stitches, 1, 2, put your hook in the 3rd chain from the hook and work your first half double crochet. 1, yarn over once, put your hook in the next chain, half double crochet, 2, next chain, 3, next one, 4, next one, 5, and keep crocheting 1 half double crochet across for a total of 103 stitches. I have completed crocheting my 103 half double crochet. We do want to be crocheting the whole project with the same tension. What I mean is that if you see a stitch that's kind of tighter and then a stitch that's kind of taller, even though you're crocheting half double crochet throughout, that means that you're crocheting tighter at some points and looser at some other points. So we do want to try to keep crocheting with the same tension throughout so you have a nice result on your project. So we have completed row 1 with 103 half double crochet. Now we're going to start row number 2 by chaining 2, 1, 2, and those 2 chains do not count as a half double crochet. They are the chains that help me to start the new row. So turn your work, and starting from the first stitch right over here, work your first half double crochet. 1, next stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep working 1 half double crochet across for a total of 103 stitches again. I have completed my second row of half double crochet and I have a total of 103 stitches again. Sorry that the stitches look like this, but I have already done the next row in Greek and I frogged it, so this is why my stitches look kind of loose over here, okay? So now we're going to start row number 3 together. Again, we're going to chain 2 and we're going to turn our work. The chain 2 in the beginning does not count as one of the stitches. Starting from the first half double crochet, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet. Now, the first 9 stitches that I'm going to work apply to all sizes, okay? We are going to work the same exact thing. Now, in the next stitch, which is kind of illegal, I'm going to work a front post double crochet, even though I have a half double crochet underneath. I'm going to work one front post double crochet. So this is the stitch over here. I'm going to put my hook from the right side, from the front to the back, and bring out my crochet hook to the front again, and I'm going to work a double crochet. So grab the yarn, pull it under the stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2, grab the yarn, pull through 2. Okay, the next stitch is going to be a bubble stitch. So please be aware that this is not the next stitch that I'm going to put my hook into. This is the stitch that belongs to the half double crochet in which I just worked a front post double crochet, okay? Because each stitch, each half double crochet, the stitch that belongs to it, the hole, is on the top left, okay? This is the hole on the top left that belongs to the half double crochet that we just crocheted. Now, starting from the next stitch, which is this one over here, I'm going to work a bubble. In order to work a bubble, we work 5 half double crochet, 5 halfway done double crochet in which we close together as one stitch. So yarn over once and put your hook for the first time in the next stitch. Grab the yarn, pull through 2. Yarn over once, put your hook in for the second time. Grab the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over once, put your hook in the same stitch for the third time. Grab the yarn, pull through 2. Grab the yarn, put your hook for the fourth time in the same stitch. Grab the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4 halfway done double crochet. Yarn over once, put your hook for the 5th and last time in the same stitch. Grab the yarn, pull through 2. So I have 5 halfway done double crochet, 6 loops on my hook in which I'm going to close all of them together to count as one stitch. Now I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. 1, next stitch, 2. In the next stitch, I'm going to work 1 front post double crochet. This right here is the next stitch, the next half double crochet, in which we're going to work a front post double crochet. So put your hook in the right side of the stitch from the front to the back. Take out your hook out again on the left side, and we're pulling the stitch outwards. And I'm going to work a double crochet. Okay, now starting from the next stitch, which is not this one over here, because this is this hole that belongs to the half double crochet that I just worked the front post double crochet. Starting from the next stitch, which is this one over here, I'm going to work one half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. In this third stitch, I'm going to attach my first stitch marker. So right at this point, I have separated a total of 9 stitches. 1, my first half double crochet, 2, the front post, 3, the bubble, 4 and 5, the half double crochet, 6, the front post double crochet, 7, 8, 9, the half double crochet that I just created. This applies to all sizes. Now, from the stitch from the half double crochet that I'm going to start in a second, my design starts to the repetitions of the pattern are going to begin. And for all sizes, you're going to have the same stitches to begin with. The only difference is the total number of rhombi, okay, the total number of diamonds you're going to have in the center of your blanket. Other than that, all the steps are the same. Okay, so keep crocheting one half double crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So after my front post double crochet, I have a total of 9 half double crochet. In the next stitch, I'm going to work a bubble stitch. So put your hook for the first time in the half double crochet, grab the yarn, pull through 2, yarn over once, put your hook in the same stitch for a second time, grab the yarn, pull through 2, yarn over once, for the third time in the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2. Yarn over once, for a fourth time, put your hook in the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over once, put your hook in the same stitch for a fifth and last time, grab the yarn, pull through 2. So I have 5 halfway done double crochet, 6 loops on my hook, which I'm going to close together. Now from here on, after every bubble, I'm going to be working 11 half double crochet starting from the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In the next stitch, I'm going to work a bubble stitch. So for the first time, put your hook in the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2. Okay, so this was the first time. 2, 3, 4, and for the last time, 5. I have 6 loops in which I'm going to close together as one stitch. Now again, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Next stitch, I'm going to work a bubble stitch. 1, same stitch, 2, same stitch, 3, same stitch, 4, and for the last time in the same stitch, 5, 6 loops, which I'm going to close together as one stitch, and 1 half double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 1 bubble stitch in the next stitch. Now this is the only row that I'm going to go so thorough. From the next row on, I'm going to be going a little faster, okay? Just so you can see how I'm working the pattern. So the next stitch is a bubble stitch. So for the first time in the next stitch, 1, same stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab the yarn, pull through all of those 6 loops, and 1 half double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In the next stitch, I'm going to work a bubble stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Pull the loop through all of those 6 loops, and now 1 half double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. The next stitch is a bubble stitch. So one, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6 loops, which I'm going to close together, and 1 half double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In the next stitch, I'm going to work a bubble stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Grab the yarn, pull through all of those 6 loops, and now we're going to finish up the row. We're going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, and I'm going to attach my stitch marker on this first half double crochet that I just made. 1, next stitch, 2, and 3. The next stitch is a front post double crochet. So put your hook from the right side, from the front to the back, and bring your hook out on the left side of the stitch and work a front post double crochet. 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. This is not the next stitch, this is the loop of the stitch that I just made. So these are my next 2. 1, next stitch, 2. Now the next stitch is going to be a bobble stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Grab the yarn, pull through all of those 6 loops, and I'm left with the last 2 stitches of the row, 1 and 2. The next stitch is going to be a front post double crochet. So this is the half double crochet. Put your hook on the right side of the stitch from the front to the back and to the front again, and I'm going to work a double crochet. Okay, and the last stitch for this row, it's not this one, it's this one over here. Work 1 half double crochet. So the reason that I have sectioned out those 9 stitches on the end and the 9 stitches in the front is because up to this point, up until the 6th stitch over here, the design of the diamonds is going to come out as I go through the rows. So for all sizes, as I mentioned, for all sizes, the rows are exactly the same. The only difference is that you will have more repetitions in the center. So for the stroller size, I have, let's see how many repetitions we have. Okay, so starting from the bubble to the last half double crochet is 1 repetition. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 repetitions for the stroller size, and then the end. Okay, so I'm going to start the next row, row number 4. So the only difference for the other size is that you will have more repetitions in the center. Okay, so I'm going to start row number 4 by chaining 2 and turn your work. Now all the rows that are on the wrong side, where the beginning piece of yarn is on the right side, when we are on the wrong side, we are only going to be working half double crochet all throughout. Okay, so work 1 half double crochet in the first stitch. I only have to be aware of the front posts that I worked in the previous row. The next stitch was the front post that I worked in the previous row. So in this row, because I want to keep the same direction, I'm going to work a back post double crochet. So put your hook on the right side of the stitch from the back to the front and bring your hook out on the left side of the stitch, so you're pulling backwards that double crochet, and work 1 double crochet. In the next 3 stitches, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet. Okay, this is not my next stitch. The bubble stitch is my next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, and oops, and 3. The next stitch is the front post double crochet that I worked in the previous row. So in this row, that front post becomes a back post because I turned my work. So I want to work a back post double crochet. Put your hook from the back to the front on the right side of the stitch and bring it on the back again on the left side and work a double crochet. Now starting from the next stitch, which is this one over here, this is the loop of the back post that I just worked, okay? Starting from the next stitch, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in every stitch up until I reach the point down here, okay, where again I'm going to work my back post, 3 half double crochet in the center, back post, and the last half double crochet in the end. So I'm only working 1 half double crochet in every stitch throughout up until I reach the point for the back post double crochet. I'm almost done with my row. I have worked 1 half double crochet in each of the stitches across, and after the back post double crochet that I worked over here, I have worked a total of 91 half double crochet. Okay, so always when I'm in the wrong side, I will have 91 half double crochet. Now the next stitch is my back post double crochet. Then work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Be aware, this is not my next stitch, this is the stitch of the double crochet that I just worked the back post. So this is the first of my 3 stitches. 1, 2, and on top of the bubble stitch, 3. And the last 2 stitches are a back post double crochet and 1 half double crochet. Now chain 2 and turn your work. Work 1 half double crochet in the first stitch. So these stitches are always going to be the same. 1 front post double crochet in the second stitch. Now between the 2 front post double crochet, I'm creating a design. When I'm on the good side, on the 1 row, I want my bubble stitch to be on the right side. On this row, I will have my bubble stitch on the left side, then on the right, on the left, on the right, on the left, on the right, on the left, and I'm making like a zigzag result on the sides of the blanket over here. This is why I have separated this side and the other side, the other end of the blanket, with those front post double crochet. So in this row, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the first 2 stitches. 1, next stitch, 2, and on the 3rd stitch I'm going to work my bubble. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have 6 loops, close them all together. Oops, sorry. The next stitch again is going to be a front post double crochet. I'm going a little faster because we have seen all the steps on how to do the stitches on the first rows. Now I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in the first 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm reattaching on this new row my stitch marker. Now 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, for all sizes, we do work a total of 7 half double crochet after the front post. The only reason I'm separating with a stitch marker is to show you that from here to here is in addition to the blanket, and after the stitch marker up to this stitch over here, we have the design in the center with the diamonds. Okay, now please be careful because we are starting the repetitions of this row, okay, the pattern. So I'm going to work one bubble stitch in the next half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have 6 loops, close them all together, and I'm going to work now one half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. On the next stitch, I'm going to work a bubble. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have 6 loops, close them all together. And now, after the second bubble, I'm going to work one half double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now those 12 stitches I'm going to repeat throughout the row. So starting from the next stitch, I'm going to work one bubble as I did here, then 3 half double crochet as I did here, then one bubble as I did here, and then 7 half double crochet. Again, one bubble, 3 half double crochet, one bubble, 7 half double crochet. So I've worked the first repetition, and for the stroller size I need 5 more repetitions of those 12 stitches over here, from the first bubble to the last 7 half double crochet. Okay, once you finish the last repetition for all sizes, your stitch is going to fall right over here, your last stitch. Then I'm going to turn my video back on to finish the row together. I have completed working the repetitions, and as I mentioned, that once you finish the last repetition of those 12 stitches, it will fall right before the last bubble stitch of the row. Okay, now after the 7th half double crochet, I'm going to work one bubble stitch in the next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close together all of those 6 loops. Again, one half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Again, one bubble in the next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, close of those 6 loops together, and finish the row by working one half double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches as we did in the beginning. So the first 4 and then the next 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the next 3, the ones that we have separated with the stitch marker. 5, 6, and 7. And now again, the stitches that we have separated to create like a little zigzag with those puff stitches. So again, the next stitch is a front post double crochet, and since my bubble stitch is on the left side, I want to create it on the right side now. So the next stitch is going to be a bubble stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, close together, all of those 6 loops. Now 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. In each of the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. The next stitch is going to be a front post double crochet, which is the second before last stitch. And the last stitch of the row is going to be 1 half double crochet in the last stitch. So see how throughout the row we have started to create little diamonds. Okay, now the wrong side of our blanket is always going to be worked in the same exact way as we did on the previous row when we worked the wrong side. So always start with a chain 2, turn your work your first stitches, which are always going to be the same, 1 half double crochet in the first stitch. The next stitch is a back post, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Okay, so when you crochet on the bubble stitch, always crochet on this top little loop right here on the top. Then you have your back post double crochet again, and then again in the center you will have your 91 half double crochet. Once you work the 91 stitches, okay, the 91st stitch will fall right over here. The next stitch again is your back post, 3 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, 1 back post in the second before last stitch, and on the last stitch of this row you will have your half double crochet. So the wrong side is always going to be worked in this way, so we are always going to be working the wrong side of camera. I have completed the wrong side of my blanket, and now I'm going to start my new row. So I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to turn my work to start row number 7. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we are starting our 7th row. Now from here on, other than working the wrong side of the blanket off camera, we are going to be working the first 9 stitches off camera as well. Okay, so always remember the first stitch is your half double crochet, second stitch is your front post double crochet, and now in the center 3 stitches, since we're trying to make a little zigzag with the bubble stitches, you're going to be working interchangeably, meaning, so out of the 3 stitches, in the one row you're going to be working your bubble stitch on the first stitch, and then on the good side 2 rows later you're going to be working your bubble on the third stitch, on the first, on the third, on the first, on the third, and so on. Okay, so from here on we are going to be working the first 9 stitches off camera as well. So since my bubble stitch is on the left side on the third stitch, I'm going to work it on the right side on the first stitch. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6 loops, which I'm going to close together. 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. The next stitch is a front post double crochet, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, And now I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Again, those stitches apply to all sizes. Okay, the beginning of the row. Now I'm going to start the repeating stitches for the row, okay, the pattern. So I'm going to work 1 bubble stitch in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, close all those 6 loops together. I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The next stitch is going to be a bubble stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, close those 6 loops together and then work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. So those are your repeating stitches, those 12 stitches from the bubble stitch to the last 3 half double crochet. Those are the 12 stitches that you're going to repeat throughout the row. Okay, so we're going to repeat those steps 5 more times. So the next stitch is going to be a bubble stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next 7 stitches, 1 bubble stitch in the next stitch, and 3 half double crochet. Again, bubble stitch, 7 half double crochet, and so on. So you're repeating those 12 stitches 5 more times. The last time that you're going to repeat your stitches, the 3 half double crochet are going to fall over here, and we're going to finish the last diamond together in the last stitches, and then we're going to see how to continue. I have worked my pattern 5 more times, and after the bubble, the 7 stitches, the bubble, and the 3 half double crochet, okay, I have reached at this point, as I mentioned before I turned my video off. Now I'm going to work 1 bubble stitch in the next stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, close together all of those 6 loops, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and one bubble stitch in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, close together all of those 6 loops. Now 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, 1, and 2, as we did on this side of our in the beginning. Okay, so we had 2 half double crochet, then the 3. Okay, from here on, the beginning and the end of the video and the back side are going to be worked off camera because the steps are the same and there's no reason for me to be repeating those steps over and over again. So after the 2 half double crochet, I'm going to work the 3. So after the last bubble, I have 5 half double crochet as I did in the beginning of my row. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to work my 3 half double crochet, front post, 2 half double crochet in the next 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, my bubble because I want to form it on the left side now. One front post in the second before last stitch and one half double crochet in the last stitch. The back side is going to be worked in the same exact way as we did in the previous ones. Okay, once you finish the back side, you are going to turn your work on the front side again, and those steps that I'm mentioning now I'm going to work off camera too. Once you turn on the good side, you're going to work one half double crochet in the first stitch, front post, one half double crochet in the next two. The bubble is going to be formed on the left side, one front post, and then your next 3 half double crochet up until the stitch marker. Once I reach the stitch marker as well, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to continue with the row. I have worked all the steps that I mentioned before I turned my video off. Okay, I have begun the new row, which is row number 9, and it's the first row of repetitions. Row 9 through row 20 are my rows of repetitions. Once I reach row 20, we're starting all over the steps that we're doing on this row. Okay, so for all sizes, I have started my row, I have worked my first 3 half double crochet and have put my stitch marker. Right after the 3rd half double crochet, I'm starting right away with my bubble stitch. Okay, and this applies to all sizes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have 6 loops in which I'm going to grab the yarn and pull through all of those 6 loops. Right after the bubble stitch, I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so this is the pattern that I'm following for this row. 1 bubble stitch and then 11 half double crochet. In the next stitch, I'm going to work the bubble stitch and then 11 half double crochet. Okay, in the center, I'm going to work my bubble stitch and then 11 half double crochet. So every bubble stitch should fall between those two over here to close the diamond and to start opening the new ones. Okay, once I work for this size, I need 5 more repetitions of those steps. The 5th and last repetition that I'm going to follow is going to fall right over here. Then I'm going to turn my video back on to work together the bubble stitch, and then we're going to see how to work the next rows. I have worked my repetitions 5 more times as I mentioned before I turned my video off, and this is how my blanket looks like at this point. Okay, and as I mentioned, I have reached at this point where I have 1 more stitch right before the stitch marker in which I'm going to work my bubble stitch. And this applies to all sizes. Okay, so I'm going to work my bubble stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close all of those loops together. And now off camera, I'm going to finish row number 9 by working 3 half double crochet, 1 front post, 1 bubble stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1 front post, and the last stitch is going to be a half double crochet. Now I'm going to work the whole back side off camera in the same exact way as we did in the previous back sides. Okay, and then I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to start row number 11 off camera, and the beginning is always the same: 1 half double crochet, front post. I'm going to work the bubble stitch on the right side, this time on the first stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next 2, 1 front post, my 3 half double crochet up until the stitch marker, and then I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to continue with row number 11. I have worked all the steps off camera. I have started row number 11. Okay, I have worked the first stitches in the first 3 half double crochet after the front post. Okay, now for all sizes we need to continue with 2 more half double crochet. So 1, next stitch, 2. So we are really starting with 5 half double crochet, okay, for all sizes. Now we're going to start the pattern for this row, which is 1 bubble stitch. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close together all of those 6 loops and continue by working 1 half double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the next stitch I'm going to work a bubble stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close together all of those 6 loops and continue by working 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Now these are the stitches that I'm going to keep repeating throughout the row. Okay, so in the next stitch I'm going to work a bubble, 7 half double crochet, bubble, 3 half double crochet, again bubble, 7 half double crochet, bubble, 3 half double crochet, bubble, and so on. For this size I'm going to repeat 5 more times this step, and once I repeat the 5th time my work is going to fall in here, and I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to finish the repetitions together and how to continue from there on. I've repeated the pattern 5 more times for this size, and this is where the last repetition will fall. Okay, and this applies to all sizes. The last repetition will fall right over here. In order to finish, after the 3 half double crochet, I'm going to work 1 bubble stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close together all of those 6 loops. I'm going to work 7 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. After the 7th half double crochet, I'm going to work a bubble stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now close together all of those 6 loops, and after the last bubble stitch I'm going to work 1 half double crochet, and this applies to all sizes. 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, then 3 more half double crochet. Sorry, so after your last bubble stitch you have 5 half double crochet, the same thing as we did in the beginning. We had 5 half double crochet in the beginning and then our first bubble. Okay, so I'm gonna work off camera the next 3 half double crochet, 1 front post, 2 half double crochet, 1 bubble, 1 front post, and 1 half double crochet in the end. work all the back side in the same exact way we did for the previous rows as well. And then I'm going to start row number 13 off camera, where I'm going to have 1 half double crochet, 1 front post, 2 half double crochet, 1 bubble, 1 front post, my first 3 half double crochet over here, and then I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to continue. What I want to show is how our pattern looks like at this point. So the first diamonds that we started, they have started to close up now, and right here at the peak of this diamond over here, the new ones have started to open up. Okay, so keep working off camera, and then I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to continue. I've completed all the steps that I mentioned before I turned my video off. I'm in row number 13 at this point. Okay, we have worked our 3 half double crochet after the design here in the beginning. For all sizes, we're going to work 4 more half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for all sizes, after the front post double crochet, we need 7 half double crochet. And now we're going to start the pattern that's going to repeat for this row. Okay, I'm going to start with 1 bubble stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close together all of those 6 loops. 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. 1 bubble stitch in the next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close together all of those 6 loops, and 1 half double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So these are my repeating, those 12 stitches are the repeating stitches that I'm going to do 5 more times in this, for this size. Okay, so the next stitch is going to be a bubble stitch, 3 half double crochet, bubble, 7 half double crochet. Okay, and then again bubble, 3 half double crochet, and so on. I'm going to repeat for this size 5 more times. The last repetition is going to fall right over here, and then I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to finish the row and how to continue for the next ones. Okay, so I repeated those steps 5 more times, and this is where I finished. Okay, with the last repetition, as I mentioned before I turned my video off. Now we're going to work the last stitches. Sorry. So work a bubble stitch after the 7 half double crochet. Okay, work a bubble stitch, and this applies to all sizes. Okay, this is where your last repetition is going to fall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close together all of those 6 loops. Work 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. 1 bubble stitch in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close together the 6 loops. Work 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then your next 3. So again, I'm going to have 7 half double crochet in the end. as I did in the beginning, 7 half double crochet. So I'm going to continue off camera now to finish this row of camera. I'm going to work the back row of camera as well. Okay, and then I'm going to start row number 15 of camera up until the stitch marker, and then I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to continue. So in this row, okay, see how this diamond is almost about to close. In the next row, in the good side, when we do row number 15, the first diamond is going to finish up. The new diamonds that had started up are going to reach the widest point, and then in the next row we're going to have the new rows to start up and this diamond to start closing, and this is how the pattern is going to keep repeating itself. I have worked the whole back side. I have come back here in the front again. I have started row number 15 and I have worked the half double crochet, the front post, the bubble. Okay, I have worked the other front post and have worked my 3 first half double crochet, and I have reattached my stitch marker. Now after those 3 half double crochet I need 6 more. So for all sizes after the front post we're going to need a total of 9 half double crochet. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. In the next stitch I'm going to work a bubble stitch. So 1 same stitch, 2 same stitch, 3 same stitch, 4, and for the last time in the same stitch, 5. Close all of the 6 loops together, and now starting from the next stitch I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so these are the repeating stitches for this row. Now, every time I work a bubble stitch, the diamond over here, the rhombus, is going to close. So the repeating stitches for this row are those 12 stitches. So in the next stitch I'm going to work a bubble stitch and then 11 half double crochet. Once I work my 11 half double crochet, then again I'm going to work my bubble stitch, 11 half double crochet, bubble stitch, and so on. So every diamond, every rhombus over here is going to close, and the last bubble stitch is going to be worked on this rhombus over here. Once I work my last bubble stitch, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to finish the row and how to continue. I'm almost done crocheting my row. This is how my work looks like at this point. After the stitches that we worked together, I repeated those stitches 5 more times, okay? And the last stitch of the 5th time that I repeated the same stitches was the last half double crochet right here, the 11th stitch. Right after I finished the 11th stitch, okay, which was the 5th time that I repeated the stitches, those 12 stitches, I went ahead and I crocheted the last bubble stitch right over here to close the last rhombus for the row. Now, after this rhombus, for all sizes, we're going to work 6 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then the other 3 half double crochet, which are going to give me a total of 9. So we had 9 right here in the beginning, and again we have 9 half double crochet. So from the stitch marker, Okay, we're going to finish the row off camera. The bubble stitch is going to be worked on the left side over here. So from the stitch marker till the end of the row, we're going to work off camera. The wrong side, which is row number 16, we're going to work off camera. And I'm going to keep working off camera up until I start my new row, row number 17, up until I reach my stitch marker, where I'm going to turn my video back on. And once you start row number 17, the bubble stitch is going to be worked on the left side over here. So I'm going to turn my video back on once I reach my stitch marker for row number 17. I have worked all the steps that I mentioned before I turned my video off. I'm in row number 17. I have worked my front post, my 3 half double crochet, and after those 3 stitches I'm going to work 4 more half double crochet, and this applies to all sizes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So after the front post I have a total of 7 half double crochet. Now I'm going to work a bubble. Now what's going to happen in this row is the diamond, the rhombus that I closed in the previous row, a new rhombus is going to start to open up, and right here where I have the rhombus right here that's halfway done, it's going to start closing up. So after the 7th half double crochet, I'm going to work my first bubble. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close together all of those 6 loops, and now work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. In the next stitch, again, I'm going to work a bubble. 1, 2. Okay, so I'm in the first. Now 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close together all of the 6 loops, and now work 1 half double crochet in each of the next of the 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now those 12 stitches that I just worked, the first is my bubble, and the 12th stitch is the half double crochet that I just worked, the 7th half double crochet. Okay, so those 12 stitches I'm going to repeat 5 more times throughout the row. For this size, for the bigger sizes, you're going to repeat more times. So these are the 12 stitches I'm repeating in this row. So I'm going to continue with bubble, 3 half double crochet, bubble, 7 half double crochet, and so on. Once I finished doing the last repetition, I'm going to turn my video back on to see at which point we are at our blanket and how to continue from there on. I have repeated those 12 stitches 5 more times. Okay, this is how my work looks like at this point. And after I finished the last repetition, this is where I stopped. Okay, so this is where you're going to stop for all sizes. The difference is the number of times you repeat those 12 stitches. Now, after the 7th half double crochet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work a bubble stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Close together all of those 6 loops. Work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Then work a bubble stitch in the next stitch. 1, same stitch, 2, 3, 4, and 5, close together all of the 6 loops, and now work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, then you're going to work the other 3 half double crochet, so we're going to have a total of 7 half double crochet after we finish working the design. As we did in the beginning, we had 7 half double crochet in the beginning over here as well. So I'm going to complete off camera row number 17 from the stitch marker to the end. I'm going to work off camera row number 18, which is the back side, and I'm going to turn my video back on when I have started row 19 and I have reached my stitch marker. Once I reach my stitch marker, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to work row number 19. I have worked all my steps off camera. I worked all the back side and I have started row number 19 up until the stitch marker, where after the front post up until the stitch marker I have a total of 3 half double crochet. Now I'm gonna work 2 more half double crochet, 1 and 2. So for all sizes for row number 19, after the front post double crochet we're gonna have 5 half double crochet. After the 5th stitch I'm going to work my first bubble stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, close together all of those 6 loops. Work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to work 1 bubble stitch after the 7th stitch. Okay, so in the next stitch, once we have finished the 7 half double crochet, we're going to work 1 bubble. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, close together all of those 6 loops, and work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. So these are the 12 stitches that I'm going to repeat throughout the row. So for this size I'm going to repeat 5 more times. For the bigger sizes you're going to repeat more times. So in the next stitch I'm going to work my bubble, 7 half double crochet, bubble, 3 half double crochet, and so on. Once I finish the 5th repetition of those 12 stitches, I'm going to turn my video back on. We're going to see where I have where the last stitch out of those 5 repetitions will fall and how to continue to finish our row. I have worked my repetitions 5 more times, and this is where the 5th repetition ended. This is where it's going to end for all sizes. The difference, as I mentioned earlier, is the number of repetitions we do throughout the row. So to complete the row for all sizes, I'm going to work a bubble stitch in the next stitch after the 3 half double crochet. Okay, I'm going to work a bubble stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, close together all of the 6 loops, work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. After the 7th stitch I'm going to work a bubble stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, close together all of those 6 loops, work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and this applies to all sizes. 1, next stitch 2. Now from the stitch marker to here, you're going to work the extra 3 half double crochet, so you're going to have a total of 5 half double crochet after the bubble stitch. As we did in the beginning of the row over here, we had 5 half double crochet before the first bubble stitch. Now I'm going to finish row number 19 off camera from the stitch marker to the end. Then I'm going to turn and I'm going to work row 20, which is the wrong side off camera, and row 20 is the last row of repetitions for this pattern. Okay, so from row 9 through row 20 are the rows that we are repeating throughout the blanket. So once I finish working the back side, the 20th row of the blanket, I'm going to turn my video back on to explain how we are going to continue off camera repeating those rows. I have completed crocheting up until row number 20, which is the last row of repetitions for this pattern. Okay, I've zoomed out so you can see how my pattern looks like at this point. Now from here on, we are repeating rows 9 through row 20. Row 20 is the wrong side of my blanket, so now we are going to go back to repeat row number 9. So whatever steps I did in row number 9, I'm going to do in row number 21. So I'm going to work a bubble, 11 stitches, bubble, 11 stitches, and so on. So this diamond over here, this rhombus, is going to close, and this one that opens up, it's going to reach its widest point. So keep repeating rows 9 through row 20 over and over again up until you have the total length needed for your blanket. Once I finish crocheting my blanket as well, the last row that you're going to work, okay, so let's say this is the end of the blanket. You have worked all of the repetitions from row 9 through row 20 over and over again. The last row you want to work, because you don't want to leave your blanket with a rhombus that's not closed, you're going to repeat for one last time row number 9, which is going to close all the diamonds, and the one that opens up, it's going to reach its widest point. So for one last time in the end of the blanket, you're going to repeat row number 9. Okay, so keep repeating. Now we're going to go back and repeat row number 9 for row number 21, then 10, 11, 12 up until row 20. Again, 9, 10, 11, 12 up until row 20, and so on. And for the last row, you're going to repeat one last time row number 9. Once I reach that point, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how my blanket looks like at that point. We're going to see how to work the last 2 rows of the blanket. Okay, and then we're going to see how to work a nice and simple border around our blanket. I have completed crocheting my blanket, and look what a beautiful design the diamonds make. It's great for a baby blanket, and why not make a blanket for our bed as well? This is such a beautiful design. Okay, so before I turn my video off, I mentioned that we want the last row to crochet to be one last time the repetition of row number 9, where it closes up my diamonds, and the one that opens up is at its widest point. So this is where we want to finish our project. Okay, now the last 2 rows that we're going to crochet, I'm going to turn into the wrong side of the blanket. I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in every stitch, and I still am going to work a back post double crochet where I was crocheting in the previous rows when I was doing the wrong side. Okay, so still work on this row the back post double crochet. Other than that, we only crochet 1 half double crochet in all of the other stitches. Then my last row, I'm going to turn my work on my good side, and the only thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in every stitch. No front posts, no bubbles, no anything. Okay, so only start with a chain 2 and 1 half double crochet in every stitch across. Once I finish those last 2 rows, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to crochet a very simple border around our blanket. I have completed crocheting the last 2 rows as I mentioned, and what I did now, I changed my crochet hook and I went up 1/2 millimeter. So from a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, I changed to a 5. And what we're going to do now is we're going to work a simple border around. I don't want to work any borders, you know, any lace borders or anything, because the design on the blanket is already too much. Okay, we have the diamonds, we have the zigzag with the bubble stitch over here on the side, and I believe that if we add any other border, it's going to be too much design on the blanket. So if you want to make another lace blanket, you can go ahead and do it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to work the crab stitch all around, just to give a nice touch, a nice border on our blanket. So what I'm going to do, when we work the crab stitch, what we are really doing is we're working single crochet in the opposite direction. So I'm going to put my hook in the loop, okay, and what I'm going to do is we're crocheting reverse now. I'm going to put my hook in the first stitch carefully, okay, bring your crochet hook up and take your yarn under and bring it through the stitch, and we have 2 loops on our hook. Crochet both loops together. Now go ahead into the next stitch. Right here, put your hook in the stitch, okay. Now take your crochet hook from the right top to the left, bring your yarn under and through the stitch, and we have 2 loops on our hook. Crochet both loops together. Now go ahead into the next stitch. Bring your hook over and grab the yarn under the hook, bring it through the stitch. We have 2 loops which we are going to crochet together. Next stitch, put your hook in the stitch, bring your hook over to the left, grab your yarn under, bring it through the stitch, and we have 2 loops which we're going to crochet together. Okay, so this is the result that we get from the crab stitch. Keep working the crab stitch up until the end. Once I reach the last stitch over here, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to keep working going downwards. I have completed crocheting the crab stitch in the whole row, and look what a beautiful border it gives on my blanket. Now, the last stitch that I crocheted, the last stitch into which I crocheted was under the chain 2 right here. Now we're going to turn counterclockwise to start crocheting going downwards on our blanket. And what I want to show is where to put your crochet hook. So we want to be putting our crochet hook in every first stitch of every row. Now we have already crocheted under the chain 2. In the next row we are going to crochet under the half double crochet. Then in the next row we have the chain 2. In the next row you're going to crochet under the half double crochet. So when you have to crochet under the half double crochet, it's pretty visible because you have a big hole, so you can see that this is the half double crochet. Now be aware, we do not want to be putting our hook in this hole in here, because it's the stitch where you have crocheted the half double crochet in the end of those rows. So you want to put your hook under, next to this hole over here, into this one, which is the chain 2. Then again under the half double crochet, in the chain 2, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet, chain 2, and so on. Okay, so we have already worked on under the chain 2. So extend your loop and bring your hook down here in the half double crochet and work your crab stitch. Extend your loop, come down here in the chain 2 and work your crab stitch. So you want to extend your loop as much as you need in order to reach your stitch. Okay, do not tighten up your crab stitch, because your blanket is going to shrink all around. Okay, in the chain 2, under the half double crochet, under the chain 2, under the half double crochet, and keep working the crab stitch going downwards. Once I reach the end once I reach the end down here, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to turn the work to start working on the chains down here. I'm almost done going downwards, and look what a nice result the crab stitch gives in the end of the blanket. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to crochet the last stitch going downwards together, where the last stitch is right here, not here, but here. These are the 2 chains that I left in the beginning of my blanket. Okay, the 2 chains that I skipped, and I worked the first half double crochet in the 3rd stitch. So right here under those 2 chains, it's the last stitch that I'm going to work going downwards. Okay, now turn your blanket counterclockwise. So what I have here in the front are the leftover loops from the chains that I worked in the beginning of my blanket. Okay, this right here is the first row of half double crochet. So what I want to do is I want to be putting my hook in every single chain. Okay, so this is the first half double crochet, so right here it's the chain. Second half double crochet, so right here we have the chain. 3rd stitch and its chain, 4th stitch and its chain, and so on. Okay, so we do want to put our hook in every chain of the blanket, and we are going to still be working the crab stitch. Okay, next stitch, next stitch, next stitch, next one, next one. Okay, so keep working the crab stitch up until you reach right here, the corner, right here, where I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to crochet the last side of our blanket going upwards. I have completed crocheting all the bottom side, okay, from the corner to the other corner over here, where the last stitch that I worked was my first chain that I started crocheting with. Okay, so even in this last chain here, you still are going to work a stitch. Now turn your work counterclockwise, and now we're going to start working going upwards. So again, when we work upwards, we want to put our hook under the half double crochet, then under the 2 chains, then under the half double crochet, under the 2 chains, the half double crochet. So again, the big hole here is the half double crochet, which always you're going to be putting your hook under here. The thing is to be finding the chain 2, which is this one here, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet, chain 2, and so on. Okay, so I'm going to start by extending my loop to reach under the half double crochet to work my crab stitch. Next stitch under the chain 2, then under the half double crochet, the chain 2, the half double crochet, and keep working going upwards. Right before I finish my blanket, I'm going to turn my video back on to finish the blanket together. I'm almost done crocheting, and I'm going to put my hook now in the last. I have worked the second before last stitch in the chain 2. Okay, Now put your hook in the first half double crochet of the first row and work your last crab stitch. Now put your hook in the very same stitch right here, in here where you worked the first stitch, and we are going to work a slip stitch. Okay, so put your hook and take it through the loop, chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop and fasten off. Now this is how our blanket looks like, completed. Okay, look how beautiful the border with the crab stitch makes our little blanket look like. The other corner down here and here. Okay, and we just worked this side going upwards. So this is how my precious diamond blanket looks like. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and if you like the video, please press like and leave a comment. Thanks again. Bye bye.